Friends, my name is B.S. Murthy. I'm the director of IIT Hyderabad. I have with me Dr. Mohan, the famous clinician in the area of diabetology, and Dr. Natraj from Kathmandu, who is a popular medical doctor and a person who has set up a number of medical institutions in Nepal. The basic objective of this meeting of three of us here is to see in the field of diabetology if we can come up with research and academic programs jointly between Kathmandu and IIT Hyderabad and Mohan's Diabetic Clinic to see that we can generate people who can handle a large number of cases that I think not just in India but also in Kathmandu and possibly in the whole world, the number of cases of diabetes are significantly increasing day by day, and we need to create the human resources which with the right kind of capabilities to handle these cases in a much more, I would say, rigorous fashion to ensure that we give a proper treatment to people who are suffering from the diabetes. In that connection, we are trying to see if we can have a joint tripartite kind of research center, and at the same time have possible degree-based programs. One such program that IIT Hyderabad is thinking of doing with both of them is an MTech program on diabetic science and technology. Okay, we have to discuss this at length and come up with a curriculum. So this is just a thought process that has started now, and we will be very soon coming up with a curriculum for this MTech program, and very keenly looking forward to starting this program as early as possible. In addition, Dr. Natraj is keen on starting a DM program in the area of diabetes, and he will speak more about that as we go along. And I'm sure that this collaboration is going to lead to wonderful hope for people who are suffering from diabetes in both the countries.
Thank you, Professor Murthy. That was a very good introduction. I am Dr. V. Mohan. I am chairman of Dr. Mohan's Diabetes Specialty Center and the president and director of the Madras Diabetes Research Foundation. Both are Asia's, if not in the world, largest chain of diabetes centers as well as research centers in the field of diabetes. We currently run 50 diabetic clinics in 32 cities of India and 8 states of India, and we have more than 500,000 diabetic patients registered in our center, which is the largest electronic diabetes clinic records anywhere in the world. The Madras Diabetes Research Foundation is devoted 100% to research on diabetes and its complications. We are working towards a cure of diabetes, prevention of diabetes, and generally helping people to live a long and healthy life despite diabetes. I come from a family which has 3 generations of diabetologists. My father, Professor M. Vishwanathan, started the specialty of diabetes in India in the year 1948 at the Government Stanley Medical College, and I joined him when I was 17 years old as a first-year medical student, and I have spent more than 50 years in this field now. My daughter and son-in-law are also diabetologists, and they are the 3rd generation. Now, it has been our ambition and that of my late father to establish diabetology as a separate specialty. Now, over the years, diabetes has grown, and if you take India alone, we have almost 74 million people with diabetes in India, and these numbers are expected to touch 130 or 140 million people in the next 20 years or so. That's how rapidly it is growing. I know that Nepal also has a very high prevalence of diabetes, probably even higher in terms of percentage wise, even compared to India. Now, diabetes is a disease which affects the entire systems. When we were students and we started, our professors used to say, know syphilis and you'll know the whole of medicine, because syphilis used to affect the whole system. Today, syphilis is not a very big disease. So our teachers and everyone now we say, know diabetes and you'll know the whole of medicine. Because diabetes is not just a disease of blood sugar. It affects the eyes, the kidneys, the heart, the feet, the nerves. It leads to sexual disorders, impotence, and it leads to every other complication. For example, when COVID-19 came, the importance of COVID-19 came due to the deaths. And the term comorbidity, which everybody was talking about, became popular only during COVID-19. What is the comorbidity which killed the maximum number of people due to COVID? It was diabetes, uncontrolled diabetes. So you can see that even an infectious disease like COVID or tuberculosis or any of the other diseases are made worse by diabetes. Now today as it stands, diabetes is buried under another specialty called endocrinology, which is of course a very important specialty. But diabetes by itself has its own, on its own right, becomes a separate specialty, because there are subspecialties even within diabetes. For example, you can have diabetic heart, diabetic eye disease, diabetic kidney disease, diabetic nerve disease, the biochemistry of diabetes, the treatment of diabetes, the pathogenesis of diabetes, the pathology of diabetes, the biochemistry of diabetes. The whole thing becomes a field which needs 2 or 3 years of study. It's like when this first gastroenterology came, there was no specialty. Then a DM in gastroenterology developed. Today, the liver has become such an important organ that there is a DM in hepatology. Although the liver is part of gastroenterology, it has branched off and it has become a separate DM in hepatobiliary disorders. It has come. Only the liver and the biliary tract. Like that, I think diabetes has now earned its place. Since if you have to learn to treat diabetes, you have to know the entire disorder. And a lot of it relates to lifestyle. For example, you have to know nutrition. You have to know about exercise. You must know about relaxation techniques, lifestyle modification. You have to learn about pharmacology, because you have to learn all about the drugs. You have to learn about insulin. You have to learn about diabetes technology. It was rightly mentioned that a master's in diabetes science and technology is developing, because today everything in diabetes revolves around technology. Whether it is insulin, whether it's pens, whether it's pumps, whether it's artificial pancreas, whether it is taking pictures of the retina and developing it, whether it's artificial intelligence, whether it's genomics, whether it is genetic testing, whatever you talk about today revolves around technology. So that has become a separate field. And even a clinician has to know something, even artificial intelligence, reading big data, analyzing big data, all these have become very important. So I think the time has come, we have been wanting this to happen for a long time, when a separate DM in diabetology has to be established. And the people who have already finished their MD in general medicine can take up this DM in diabetology, and further subspecialization even within diabetology may come in the future. For example, diabetic heart may become a subspecialty even within that. The field has grown so much. But I think the first step is to start a DM in diabetology. With about 50 years of experience behind us, treating just 500,000 are the number of registered patients. But if you look at the number of consultations, it goes to several million consultations that we have experienced. We also trained thousands of doctors. So we know what exactly doctors need. So I'll be very happy to collaborate with Dr. Nadraj and his institution and with the authorities in Nepal to set up a DM in diabetology. Its time has come, and I think this is the time when Nepal can actually show the world a big step forward, because many countries have thought about this, but somehow along the line a separate postgrad, there are diplomas here and fellowships here and so on. Most of them are online and they are not full time, and they have not really created the cadre of people like what we would like to create. We for example run a 2-year fellowship program, and we already have a syllabus for that. So that syllabus can easily be shared with the DM diabetology to further develop that into a 3-year course. So if this is done, I think the government of Nepal and the University of Kathmandu and all the other authorities there would have really contributed and would have taught the world that a big step forward in the treatment and management of diabetes would have occurred. And I'm sure this course will attract people not just from Nepal or from India, but from all corners of the world. We can start small, and as it builds, probably Nepal will become an epicenter for diabetes treatment and for science and technology. We would be very happy to collaborate independently with you and also through a tripartite relationship, partnership with the IIT Hyderabad, and that's why I am also here. And the time has come for us to all join together and collaborate and set up something which will be very meaningful and most importantly will improve the lives of millions of people with diabetes, not just in Nepal but all over the world. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's been a great day because Dr. Murthy Garu, two legendary people were there. I call Dr. Mohan Garu the god of diabetes of the modern world. Without him, my father, who was his father's patient, so generation of doctors and generation of patients, kept on continuing. Somewhere it needs to be reversed. So further, a technology where we thought of making an MTech in diabetes and science and technology, a foundation of thought process has started in developing it. DM Diabetology, with none other than the guidance from Dr. Mohan Garu, what would be better degree in the world than being the person who has been breathing and living in the treatment of the diabetes. With these two stalwarts, especially Dr. Mohan Garu in part of disease treating, IIT Hyderabad and Murthy Garu's guidance will be talking the research methodology, two pillars for any disease-oriented treatment. These particular two pillars will definitely bring a change and will become people to guide how to treat the diabetes and how it can be prevented in an innovation and treatment part. Prevention, treatment part can go simultaneously. So I will be requesting Dr. Mohan Garu to visit Nepal and to keep this particular vision into reality, which we are waiting for his approval, which I got it today. And so it's a great thing that Sir has agreed upon. In continuing, we'll have a Chennai SARS with the world famous Mohan's Diabetic Center, Specialty Center, College of Medical Sciences, Kathmandu University, IIT Hyderabad. May God bless on this particular Dasara time on all of us, and the government's blessings and the Kathmandu University blessings will make it reality in months to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you.